Yep. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. What have you done for me lately? It's about tomorrow, not about yesterday. What have you done for me lately? Meaning like today. What can you do tomorrow? All right. I ran across this headline yesterday about Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp officially being placed on, it was either injured reserve or he's going to have surgery that's going to keep him out for 4 weeks, which is pretty much at this stage of the season, his season's basically over in so many words, all right? And it got me thinking about this game and how this thing called this game of football teaches life and what it's all about, and how we can, too often, we get too excited with what someone did last year. Now, I've never participated in fantasy football, but this is a lesson, and this is why, in my opinion, fantasy football is a bunch of bullshit, because of the way it has ruined the game and how everyone's a GM nowadays and how it's completely, they're going off stats which do not tell the full story and things like that. They're going off numbers. But let me just get to it. All right, listen. 10 months ago, I believe it was 10 months ago, which makes that, January-ish time, early February, and Cooper Kupp was sitting on top of the world. Had I believe they called it the Triple Crown, Super Bowl MVP, leading the league in receiving yards, and there was another accolade that the media was making a huge deal of, or whatever it is. The bottom line is he came into this season off last year's hype, and everyone was, oh yeah, Cooper Kupp gonna be this, Cooper Kupp gonna be that. All the people who quote know football, end quote, everyone's, yeah, Cooper Kupp gonna be a big dude. He gonna be that dude this year. He gonna be all this hype. Everything was going off what he did a year ago, and now look at him. All of a sudden, he can't even play. Not even worth it. I'm not saying anything negative about him. Injuries in football happen, but the point I am trying to make, and what I talk about a lot when it comes to Move Swiftly and the way we think about our skilled workers versus our well-informed workers and our front team workers, is we put too much of an emphasis. We get too comfortable with the skilled workers, with people who are depending on skill. And too often do most of us even thrive and they thrive and strive to be a skilled worker when they don't understand that those skilled workers, you cannot depend on that. You cannot make a living off that. And I'll close you out with this, because there's all this talk about Odell Beckham Jr. and I use his story a lot when I'm describing skilled workers, all right? Understand, when Odell Beckham Jr. was on top of the world playing for the New York Giants, one of the biggest markets in football, one of the most popular franchises, he was sitting on top of the world, then all of a sudden he gets traded to the Cleveland Browns. And I remember, I believe it was Molly Quorum, one of the few times that she actually made a really, really great point. It was probably because it was because of her Giants and stuff like that, but she made a great point. Let me not say that. Let me not be so hard on Molly. Let me not be so hard on Molly. It's in terms of female reporters, I could say she's probably one of my favorites, not just because she's fine as hell, but there are some points that she does make. Let me take that back. I don't mean to be too hard on Molly, if you ever hear this, on Molly Quorum. But anyway, when Odell Beckham Jr. got traded, I remember her saying that the best player on your team cannot be the wide receiver. It cannot be the wide receiver. And the reason I had to take that phrase, take the kind of the slap that I hit Molly with, the kind of the bashing that I hit Molly with just now, the reason I have to take it back is because she made that point. And I'll always have to respect her for making that point. And the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. was a receiver and he was the best player on the team makes it so he's on the chopping block. A wide receiver cannot be the best player on your football team, because they are skilled workers and they're only going to affect the game so much. The best players on your team have to be your offensive and defensive linemen, has to be your quarterback, has to be your linebackers and your safeties, the people that are responsible for being well-informed, the people that are responsible for knowing a lot of things, and most importantly, the people that are responsible for having that level of work ethic that sends ripple effects throughout the entire organization. Too often do skilled players do not have the work ethic that a front team player has, because they're so skilled and they're so skilled and so gifted at what they do. All right, well-informed players have that work ethic, and they take that information and they know who to bring in and they know how to lead, which is the most important part. All right, so speaking of the Move Swiftly brand and all the things I'm doing, if you're listening to this on the Move Swiftly podcast, it comes out 5 days a week. Be sure to hit that follow button. Also, check out makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. Purchase all the Plus LY merch, all the books, all of the hiring seminars and the workshops that I'll be doing. Inquire about my bundles. Everything that you see on the shop, it's just shop till you drop. It's only going to go towards supporting the brand that makes it, so you have to write down your vision and build a cohesive unit at the same time, all right? Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.